Hello, Hofstra fans, and welcome to the W. Mason Coach Report with head women's lacrosse coach Shannon Smith. Shannon, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Stephen. How are you doing? Thanks for having me.
Great. Well, Shannon, you are doing well because you're off to a 2-0 start to the year. 2 games played last week and 2 wins. Just give us your overall thoughts on the week that was in Hofstra women's lacrosse.
It was a great week. Really exciting to get back out there after, being off for 343 days with our first game against St. Joseph's. It was a really tight and competitive game. So it was really nice to get out of Philly with a 1-goal win over St. Joseph's. And I thought that there were some things that we needed to improve upon in certain aspects of the game. And I thought that we did that in our game and win over UConn. And now we're looking to improve upon more things for our game this weekend against Army.
Yeah, you got a bunch of real solid individual performances. The St. Joseph's game, Grace Langella was great, scored the game winner. Obviously, Alyssa did her usual number with 5 points, but give us a breakdown of what you saw from Grace in that game and how she was able to really help lead you guys to the win.
Grace is playing really great right now. I think she's playing with a lot of confidence. She's doing a really great job at studying film and from either practice or games to get better. She's playing with a lot of confidence, having her head up, finishing some nice shots, and it's fitting really great into flow offense. I think that she's doing a really great job in our slow break transition with 2-man games and looking for the feeders in the middle. So really exciting to see this from Grace because she just has so much potential. I'm really excited to see her continue to develop and become a bigger threat for us on offense as the season continues.
The St. Joseph's game was a real solid challenge to start the year, and especially after such a long off season. Did you like what you saw out of your team? Did you see nerves? What did you see in those first few minutes? Looking back.
You saw a mixture of everything because we have a lot of different players on the field, right? You got freshmen all the way up to fifth-year seniors. So I think that our upperclassmen were just super excited to play. We're forcing the issue a little bit where you had some of your younger kids that were a little nervous, right? First collegiate game or getting into it, not having that much experience as the upperclassmen. But I thought at the end of the day, our team played with a lot of heart. We played really hard and we had a lot of toughness out there. It's not easy being off. It's not easy winning lacrosse games in general, but especially 1-goal games and to be off that long and to be able to win. I thought that during that game, one thing that we talked about and we continue to talk about from UConn is that we need to be more solid throughout halves. I feel like at the end of the first half in St. Joseph's and UConn, we allowed the other teams to go on runs a little bit. So we need to be more solid and winning those draw controls and limiting our turnovers in the clear and a little bit on offense, having better shot selection. So I think that's just going to come with more game experience and playing more out there on the field.
And you just kind of touched on it. Then you went on and played UConn over the weekend, beat them 17-11, and it was a really dominating second half. What did in that final 30 minutes? What were you able to see from your team that you kind of felt allowed you guys to separate?
I think that we at the end of the first half, we had a lot of turnovers. I think we had a lot of opportunities, but we also had a lot of turnovers and we were losing some draw controls. And I think in the second half, we changed something a little bit on our ride and we started to win draw controls. And I think just on offense, our opportunities we were getting on cage, we were finishing. So we were getting a lot of opportunities in the first half, but we weren't finishing. And I think in the second half, we started to finish more. And that's the offense as a whole, right? Alyssa, I think, carried us in the first half, having 6 goals in the first half. And in the second half against UConn, we had more goal scorers and kids finishing their shots on the offensive side of the field, which really gave us that opening and go on those scoring runs in the second half.
And speaking of draw controls, Darcy Smith was one of her career-defining games, 10 draw controls in the game. 5th time in her career she's gotten 10 or more draws in a game. How was she able to be so successful?
She works super hard with Coach Amanda out of practice. I think that she has a really great communication system with Alexa and Sabrina who are on the draw circle with her. And Darcy fights really hard for the ball. I expect Darcy every game to have 10 or more draw controls every game. So hopefully she can continue that for us. But she puts a lot of hard work, studies film, and really works with Amanda really hard on the draws and I think over this break, she's been able to become more multidimensional on the draw and have different things that she can do on the draw, which makes her more dangerous.
And you just mentioned the name, and it's remarkable that I'm actually going to say this. She's an all-time great, but Alexa Matera kind of gets underrated, and she does everything for your program on both sides of the ball, on the draw circle. Can you just touch on, like, we talked about it off camera, but how good she was this week and kind of what she does for your program on a daily basis?
Alexa is one of the top midfielders in the country. She is, and I think that people need to know that about her. She can do it all. I mean, she can go from a game having 0 goals, but she can have, you know, 6 ground balls, 7 draw controls, and a couple of caused turnovers. And then on top of that, some games she'll have those numbers plus 3 or 4 goals, plus some assists. She's a workhorse. She does everything for us. She can mark up on defense. She can run the ball in the transition, comes up with big ground balls, and she's a powerful lefty and has a really nice shot and dodge on the offensive side of the field. I think these past 2 games, Alexa has played with a fire and intensity in her eye, and she's at a different level right now than I've seen her. So hopefully, Alexa can continue that. I think that's just from experience last year and wanting to leave it all out there on the field every single game. So it's really exciting to see that from Alexa, and she's a very inspiring and inspirational player. I know a lot of people get pumped up when Alexa makes big plays and when she does well for our team.
Absolutely. And then we'll obviously touch on here the record holder, Alyssa Perella, set the CA record for career goals against UConn, National Player of the Week, CA Player of the Week. We talked about her extensively on the show, but what you see from her last week, and kind of just touch on the record if you could.
Yeah. Well, Alyssa's Alyssa, right? So there's always good things when the ball's in Alyssa's stick. Whether she has the ball or not, Alyssa's drawing attention because she can score with the ball in her stick. She can score without the ball in her stick cutting. And I think Alyssa has just been playing really well. She did a really great job for us. I think St. Joseph's, she was just super excited. She's getting a lot of shots right now because she's worked on her game. She's gotten quicker. So she's getting a lot of shots right now. And against St. Joseph's, she was really tough, she had sometimes 3 or 4 kids sliding to her at one time. I think she handled the pressure well and was able to find her groove a little bit. And I think having that first game underneath her belt against UConn, she felt a lot more comfortable and really carried our team in the first half against UConn. And then in the second half was drawing a lot of attention, which allowed more opportunities for our other attackers to score and middies to score as well. Unbelievable record, Alyssa breaking that. I'm super excited that she came back to be able to finish that opportunity that she didn't have last year because of COVID. Record's been around for 19 years. The CAA conference is not an easy conference, and there's been a ton of phenomenal players that have come through across our conference at all the different schools. So for Alyssa to have that record with the amount of talent that has come through our conference is tremendous, and it couldn't happen to a better person, a better teammate. And I'm really excited that Alyssa, gets that record.
And we'll end on this, Coach. You got 1 game on the schedule this week. You travel to Army West Point. Really interesting game, and certainly a wonderful opponent to face. What are your thoughts heading into the game?
We're really excited to play Army. I think it's going to be a really good challenge for us. Been watching film, and they're really tough offensively, and I think they're going to cause some issues for us defensively. So hopefully we can stick to our game plan, and if we can stick to our game plan that we have developed, I think we'll be okay. But we're gonna have to communicate a lot and really be locked in on what our game plan is, because they have a lot of threats and goal scorers after watching them play. And then defensively, they're really tough. They don't really let up a lot of goals or shots. So we're going to have to take advantage of our opportunities and make sure every shot counts. They're extremely well coached. They were 7-0 last year, so they're a tough team, and we're excited to play them.
Well, Shannon, good luck this week, and thank you for joining us on this week's edition of the W. Mason Coach Report with head women's lacrosse coach Shannon Smith.